Hello friends, thank you so much for being here. This video is the part 2 of a completed topography. So those who did not watch the part 1, you can go to the description box and get the link from the description. In this part, mainly we are going to discuss about three important concepts: contours, drainage pattern in topography, and the settlements. So let's get start our topic. First of all, what are contours? Define contours. These are the imaginary lines joining places which have same height above mean sea level. These are contours. Examples: mountains, hills, plateaus, etc. So contour lines are shown by brown color in a map. So contours are the imaginary lines joining places which have same height above mean sea level, and these type of lines are shown by brown color. How the contour lines help us in a topographical map or by reading this map? It helps to find out the steepness of its slope. When contour lines are very close, they represent steep slopes. When they are further apart, they represent gradually increasing slopes. Absence of contour lines indicate that land is flat. These 3 points I highlighted here, this is the basic principle of contour lines. Contours are very close, it represents the steep slope. If it's further apart, that represent gradually increasing slopes, and the absence of the contour lines indicate that land is flat. And it helps us to find out or identify the shape of the land. Shape of the land at various heights. The contour lines indicate the shape of the land. About that, I will do another video. Next, what is the contour interval on the given map? It's an important question, board examination question. In part 1, I discussed a lot about this. The contour interval is 20 meters in our topo maps. This is a very important point and you can keep reminding in your mind, and this answer itself there in the map. And the spot heights, another important topic or another important part of the topographical sheets. Spot heights indicates the height of a given point above the mean sea level in meters. Spot heights help us to identify the flow of the river and different forms also. So this part is very important. Let us see, we already discussed the principle of contour lines. If it's so close, it indicates the steepness of the land, and it's further apart in gradually increasing the slope, and its absence of the contour lines, it indicates that land is flat. Here you can see these three features are mentioned in a contour lines. Here the contour lines are very close. It shows the steepness or the elevation of land. Here you can see this is very further apart, and here this part, the absence of the contour lines, it shows the land as a flat. In these three ways, the contour lines help us to identify the steepness and the slope of the land. Next one is steep slope or a scarp. And first, you keep remind in your mind the principles of that contour lines. Steep slope, here you can see the contour lines are very close, and this is the real picture of a steep slope. By identifying or by seeing this, you can easily identify the landforms by using the contour lines also. Next one is a gentle slope. It is known as a dip in geography. And gentle slope, see here, these contour lines are further apart. Okay, so the gap in between one contour line or another contour lines is so much is there. It shows the gentle slope or a dip. So here you can see from here the elevation is more compared to this place, the elevation is more. Okay, so in this type of landforms, we can indicate this type of landforms through this type of contour lines. Next, we are discussing about one more important. Many geographical features we can identify by using these contour lines. One or two examples I'm mentioning here, and the cliff. Cliff, you saw the picture of that cliff. Here, see, you can see this. The contour lines are very close. It shows what the elevation of that place, and compare this part and this part. Okay, this farther apart, and the absence of the contour lines. It shows the slope of the land, and here it shows the elevation of the land. So this is a very important question for the examination. By using contour lines, identify the geographical features of that particular grid square. So please practice more about this particular concept. Next, we are moving to the drainage pattern. This is also another important question for your examination. 20 marks questions are there, very specific questions. In that, drainage pattern also important. Drainage patterns means the flow of the water. So in our syllabus, we need to discuss mainly 4 different types of drainage. First one is a dendritic, second one is terrace, and third one is radial, fourth one is disappearing. These are the 4 important drainage pattern we can see in our topographical map. Okay, and let us see how can we identify this drainage pattern. Okay, no need of by hurting these theories about the drainage pattern. Just draw these figures in your mind, then easily you can identify. For a better understanding, see this theory part. This dendritic lines or the dendritic drainage pattern, it is a branching tree like drainage pattern which is generally found on flat lands. Okay, this branching tree like a drainage pattern in our topo sheet, we can see this type of pattern, and generally we can find this on a flat lands. Let us see the virtual um, virtual drainage pattern in this topographical sheets. Okay, so already mentioned that it's like a branches. Here in this contours you can see that it's like a branches. Here it is going like branches, here it is going like branches, like this in your contour in your topographical maps you can see. And in your examination they will ask the question, in this particular grid square what type of drainage pattern, or identify the drainage pattern from this particular grid square. So if you know the drainage pattern in your mind, then only you can identify and give a right answer for such type of questions. Okay, and the second one is terrace. This is the terrace pattern you can see. And let's see the theory. What is this terrace? It is a rectangular drainage. It is a rectangular drainage pattern which is streams flowing parallel to each other and joining the main streams at right angle. This one is very important. Rectangular drainage pattern, and it's joining main streams at a right angle. See here, it's joining the streams at a right angle, 90-degree angle. You can see this, and this type of drainage patterns are known as was terrace drainage pattern. Okay, we can see this in our maps also. So here we have a look on this. Here terrace patterns. Okay, so 90-degree angle, it's comes and joining to the streams, and in examination they will ask the question, find out the drainage pattern from this particular grid square. Okay, so that is the second part. Next we are moving to the third category of our drainage, radial. This is the figure of a radial drainage. And let's see the theory. It is a drainage pattern which streams spreading out in all directions like spokes of a wheel. It can be seen where a conical hill. This is very important. It can be seen where a conical hill, and it is spreading out in all direction like a spokes of a wheel. And you know the rivers of the streams are flows from the high elevation to the lower elevation. Okay, so like because of that we can see this radial drainage is spreading like spokes in all direction, and the main geographical region which we can see this type of a pattern is the conical hill. So let us see one important or a real figure in a topographical sheet. Here you can see the radial drainage pattern. See here, it's like a spot height is, it's mentioned 639. It's like a spoke, it's going outward all the four directions. Okay, and you can see the enormous presence of the contour lines here. It shows the elevation of that land also. So this type of drainage patterns are known as radial drainage, and radial drainage mainly we can see in the conical hill areas, and it's spread like a spokes of a wheel. So these are the three important drainage pattern. And dry streams or disappearing streams are the fourth category of our drainage pattern. And you can see here, it's also like our first drainage pattern. When rivers or streams do not have enough water, they dry up or disappear into the sand. They are known as disappearing streams and are indicated by broken lines. Okay, here we can see in our topo map indicated by broken lines because it's disappearing streams. During the rainy season, we can see these streams, and dry season, when the dry season comes, it disappears into the sand. So such types of drainage patterns are known as what? Disappearing streams. These are four important types of drainage. Draw this figure or a pattern in your mind, and easily you can identify this drainage pattern for your examination. And let's move into the another concept in a topographical sheet. This is also another important specific question: settlements. What is a settlement? A settlement is a group of human dwellings in urban or rural areas, like our villages in simple sense. Okay, the urban or the rural areas, and it's a human dwelling place. We have three important settlements pattern in our mainly in our topographical sheets: nucleated settlements, dispersed settlements, and the linear settlements. Okay, so this here you can see that small red dots are, red squares are given here, and always settlements shows in a red squares, and you can find out the different types of settlements in which in this particular grid square. So let us see more about the settlements. First, we are going to discuss about the nucleated settlements. Okay, nucleated settlements pattern refers to the grouping of many houses around a center called a nucleus. Okay, nucleated settlements, a pattern refers to the grouping of many houses around a center called a nucleus. So this very closed structures we can see in our topo sheets, very closed red squares we can see and filled with the red color. Such a type of settlements are known as what? The nucleated settlements. Second one is a dispersed settlement. And dispersed settlements refers to the scattering of houses over a large area. Dispersed, from the word itself you can understand, it's not very close, it's a dispersed, it's further apart. It's a scatter of houses over a large area. And we can see this type of dispersed settlements mainly in the remote areas. The transportation availability is very less, occupation availability is very less. On such a type of areas we can see the dispersed settlement. This is the second pattern of a settlement. Next one is linear settlement. A linear settlement pattern refers to the grouping of houses along a line. This line may be a river or a particular road or a particular good project, and these two sides, the linear settlements patterns refers to the grouping of houses along a line. Okay, the two sides you can see this, and this type of settlements are known as what? Linear settlements. This is also another important settlement pattern which we can see in our topo sheets. And here are some important questions. What is the differences in the pattern of a drainage? Grid square 0916 and 0712. This is one figure I gave here, and you can refer your topo map, any grid reference you take, and find out the drainage pattern from that particular grid square. Any topo map you take, and try to find out the different types of drainage patterns in your topo map. And with more practice only, you can be very good in this topographical sheet reading. And second question is, what is the geographical name that you would give to the general pattern of settlements in the region shown on a map? The question pattern only I mentioned here. In this way, the board asks the question, what is the geographical name that you would give to the general pattern of settlement in the region shown on the map. We learned the nucleated map, we learned the so we learned the nucleated settlements, we learned the dispersed settlements, and we learned the linear settlements and different types of settlements we learned. Okay, so that what type of settlement you can see in your map, that is the question. Okay, like this, identifying the geographical features by using the contour lines, that is another important question for your examination. Also, you just keep this in your mind. Contours are very close, they represent steep slopes. When they are farther apart, they present gradually increasing slope, and the absence of the contour lines indicates the land is flat. Okay, this is the general principle of that, and contour lines always shows in a brown color in your topographical sheets, and the general interval given in our topo sheets is 20 meters. Okay, that is also another important question, and by using this contours patterns, you can identify different types of geographical or the landforms also. So these are the few important questions, or the main part from our topographical sheets. Mainly I discussed here contours, drainage pattern, and settlement. These are three important specific question, must question, short questions for your examination also. So you can practice well with your topo map, then you can understand very well this. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you feel this presentation is good, hit the like button, and for more videos, subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon.